Let's talk about regaining confidence and colour being at the helm of that. We journey so much of our lives and we are put into boxes right from primary school, pleasing others, and we learn in relationships and we have our hearts broken and our confidence can go sky high and can plummet. And I talk about that with the palette as well, and the use of our life is like this beautiful palette where we have murky colors and all unique to us in our lives. We have bright colors, all representative of the different times and the push and pull of our lives. But I want you to lean into the simplicity of the color mixing in our videos to provide you with confidence. Encourage you often to repeat the exercises that we use. So from the still life exercises to the gesture drawings to really delving into light and shade, all of that is repetitive and it means that we get more confident. But in terms of the colors and the color wheel, use those colors. I've talked about it before, and there's a few of you have said about your color, your favorite color being red, and red or purple, bringing that to the forefront of your consciousness so that you are available to bring it into your paintings. It's important that we recognize the importance of color on our palette. I've been teaching for over 20 years. I've been making art a lot longer than that. I do think that it's only now when I give myself the time to lean in to the colors. I'm just looking at my dog behind me. To lean into the colors that I use in the palette, it's only then that I see the importance that they have and how the same colors keep coming up. For you on your palette, it might be purple, it might be navy blue. Remember, we mix that with ultramarine blue and a little bit of noir black. Very simple color mixing that will enhance your painting, but will lift your confidence and will boost your confidence. And the other thing that I will say is, if you are consuming my videos and you're using the demos, that's becoming part of your life. And I am so honored to be able to lead you in that. With that being said, that means that art and creativity are a part of you. And I want you to really own that today. And I want you to look at all of those times in your life, recognize them, the ones that your confidence has maybe dipped, acknowledge them and move on. In my life, with my dad dying when I was 7, and I'm very open in talking about grief, and I know I've connected with many of you on here. Grief is something that comes up for me on a daily basis, and I don't speak about it as a sob story. I speak about it because it's really factual to who I am. Now that I have 3 boys of my own and I see the partnership that my husband and I have in bringing them up, I do see that there was a very evident and obvious gap with my mum, who raised us on her own, and thank goodness she did such a good job, I think. Acknowledge my grief, and I let it sit in the back seat some days. It doesn't always sit in the front seat with me, but on days that it does sit in the front seat, I just let myself have those weepy days. And it's never far from me. So it might be the same with you. Grief, you can acknowledge it. Loss, change of identity, change in relationships, lower confidence, acknowledge it. It doesn't have to sit in the front with you. It can sit in the back, and it's there. And with your life and with color, I want you to let that be in the front seat. Or maybe it's a murky color that just keeps coming up for you, and it comes through in your paintings and it brings you down. Because I said that before about one of the paintings I made, and it was around the time when I was really struggling, and you can tell in the painting that it's a very dark painting. I was actually at that location at the weekend, and it was so joyful and beautiful to be there after 12 years of not being there. So 12 years ago, I made a painting of it, which is beautiful, and lots of prints of it sold, but they're dark, and you can tell. And it was a friend pointed it out to me. She said, were you sad that day? That doesn't always mean it's a bad thing. Emotion will drive you, and color will bring that emotion to the forefront. So there's a language between the color, between acknowledging the color and acknowledging your emotion. And that is one thing we get with art. We get to bring that to a canvas. And you may never want to sell your art. You may never want to let it go past these videos. You might have a little store of them all piling up, from the still life to the beaches to the beautiful skies that we've created together. Well, that's only going to get better, and that's only going to grow your confidence more, because even if you don't want to sell them, I want you to acknowledge this as a really gorgeous journey that we get to do together. For me, my YouTube always felt like I just uploaded it and I let it go. but I'm growing in confidence too in being able to lead you and to see the results that we're getting. Be the most unintentional artist in your household. And I want that to be a tagline. I want you to learn how to paint loose and free. As we age, details are not as sharp for us. Our eyes are maybe we need our different glasses, and that's okay. That's actually a really good point in where my teaching is. You can paint loose, you can let go of the detail, and we mirror that to life. The finer details, when we take ourselves out of this world and take ourselves above and look down, we are not, we're tiny. And that doesn't mean we're unimportant, but there's an artist called Oliver Jeffers, and he made a big globe, and I was showing my son it at the weekend, and it's us and them. And it's whenever we think about, especially in Northern Ireland, and this is not in the creative space, this is in just basically Northern Ireland as a whole, there is a lot of conflict. But whenever we look at the world from up here and we're looking down on it, it's us and them, no matter what part of the world we're in, no matter if we're in Australia, which I know a lot of you are, if we're in Texas in America, Utah, New York, England, Scotland, Wales, Dublin, we're all people and we all have our own experiences, unique and special to us. But it doesn't mean that anyone's any better. It doesn't mean anyone's palette is any better. In the art world, it can feel really competitive. And I want you to let go of that and to bring your own confidence to the surface. You have your unique style. We can let go of the details. I want to give you the skills to help you paint loose so that your own creativity is pushed forward and that you feel confident and aware and switched on enough to see that and to see the growth. So look at how you view gesture drawings today. Is that more confident than you were 2 months ago? Look at how you feel whenever you get your color palette in front of you. Do you mix a strong orange, or do you still feel like it's not a solid orange? Let the progress be part of the journey. Thank you so much for listening, for watching, for subscribing and for sharing. It pops of color in what we wear and how we show up in the language we use so that we are most unintentional creative artists in our household and thereafter.